Hi everyone, and welcome to another segment of astrologyanswers.com's weekly forecast. My name is Terrence Scardino. The week begins on Monday, July the 1st, and what a month this is going to be, and it's all being triggered this week. The overall theme is stay grounded, pace yourself, and don't make any important life decisions. Let me explain. Even on Monday, July the 1st, high energy Mars is moving into fiery dynamic Leo till August the 18th. So there's a lot of motivation, impulsiveness, ego, high energy. Keep that in mind. On Tuesday, it is the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer. The rule of thumb is you don't want to make any important, significant, life-changing decisions the week before to the week after the solar eclipse. But 2 weeks later, around the 16th of July, is a full moon lunar eclipse, which is a supercharged full moon, a time of culmination. A lot of things come to a head that are all starting to be revealed very slowly with the new moon solar eclipse on Tuesday. Mixed with all of that, this Saturday, July the 7th, communication Mercury is going retrograde until July the 31st. You've all heard the mantra, don't sign contracts, don't make promises, pretty much expect the unexpected, so that you need to keep a lot of adaptability, don't get locked in. There could be more prone to misunderstandings, miscommunications. You see, you'll often hear other astrologers talk about don't sign contracts. What that means is Mercury is about agreements and expectations, and when it's retrograde, the energy is going backwards or internalized. So in other words, what you might be expecting or committing to and promising by signing a contract, you don't have all the information, or you're more prone to change your mind. But how can you change your mind if you've already committed yourself to a legal document? So you got Mercury in retrograde, you got the new moon solar eclipse, the full moon lunar eclipse, and this is a month where everybody is going to be really shaken out of their comfort zone. Now, let's not just put a negative spin on it, because I know some of you went right there. Because many times the eclipse can eclipse something all new and exciting into your life. It's just that you have to take time to settle into it. Is this real? Will it last? Okay, let's start with if your birthday is July the 1st, perhaps, but definitely the 2nd to 3rd, maybe the 4th, especially if you're older. When your birthday falls on a new moon, which might happen every decade or so, there's certainly some kind of significant new path, new opportunity. But when it's a solar eclipse, this will happen only about every 19 years, and it can really be life-changing. But it could bring something all new and exciting into your life, a new job, a new relationship. But if you've outworn, old patterns, it can be a time that your previous life, your attachments, your job, your relationships, they could be eclipsed out of your life. But it's not to just like, oh, you're unlucky. This is trying to clear the air, clear the decks, so you can shake things up and get the slate clean and start fresh again. but it can also just mean that things could be eclipsing into your life in very exciting ways within 30 days, but somewhere between 30 days to up to 90 days from the solar eclipse energy. Now, on Wednesday, here's Venus, pleasure-seeking relational Venus, is moving into Cancer for about 3 to 4 weeks. And this is always, there's going to be more, and the sun, the sun is transiting in Cancer, and the solar eclipse is in Cancer. So this is putting a lot of focus on family matters overall. You just have to know where that, where Cancer, where that eclipse is falling in your individual horoscope. Now, so that's Wednesday. The Venus is moving into Cancer, and you might be, and we're going into the 4th of July for people, living in the United States, when family and friends all come together. So that focus on Cancer, that's domestic, that's home, that's family. Then having the love planet Venus moving into Cancer. So there's a lot of real positive energy. And the Mars in Leo is creating a lot of enthusiasm, excitement. So there is a lot of really good energy. However, something is in the air, something is shifting. So you don't want to lock yourself in to any kind of agreements, because something is in the process of transformation. Now, the week before Mercury goes retrograde, which is that Saturday, July the 7th, the Mercury is slowing down. Think of Mercury as the planet of your thoughts, decision making, what's on your mind. But when it's slowing down, your mind is slowing down, or your mental faculties are slowing down. Basically, and this affects the whole world. You're not as quick, you're not as sharp, you're more prone to make mistakes. And then usually the worst of Mercury in retrograde, when anything that can go wrong does go wrong, you make mistakes, etc. You lose things in the mail, there's disagreements. It's usually several days around when Mercury is changing directions. So it's going to start going backwards on Saturday. So the last couple of days, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, certainly Saturday, Sunday, Monday, this is when there's more apt to be frustrations when things go awry. And then around the 31st, when Mercury turns direct. Usually during the middle of the cycle, it's not so crazy, except in the middle of the cycle is the full moon lunar eclipse, when we are being hit with such emotional feelings, and things are coming to a head. So what I want to say again is there could be some really exciting new opportunities trying to come into your life. Or if you're stuck and hindered by old patterns, maybe it's in the long run good for you for these energies to be shaken out so you can start fresh again. But with Mercury in retrograde and all these eclipses, you need to just pace yourself and don't start anything major that's new. Stay the course. Do a lot of reflecting. Ask for advice. Probably one of the best months for have an astrology reading, so you can get a bigger perspective of what in the world is happening, and is it good for you. Now, before I sign off, I want to remind you I'm available for the one question offer for a nominal fee. So this is probably one of the most important times for you to request that question to me. The time of birth is really important. It'll help give me more detail. So I want to thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you next week with my next segment. Until then, have a great week.